Coming up on this edition of Out of the Blue, MTSU's Recording Arts and Technologies graduate program produces some of the best and brightest in the music industry, but it also trains students for careers in producing and directing motion pictures. In our top story, see the latest product headed for the film festival circuit. Some of that talent is showcased every year at the MTSU Student Film Festival. In our cover story, we'll show you the first place winner of the 13th annual festival on the MTSU campus. Plus, the military science program proudly commissions its best and brightest for a future in protecting America. That and more coming up on Out of the Blue. Hello and welcome to another edition of Out of the Blue. I'm Mike Browning. We're coming to you this month from MTSU's Mass Communication Building. Two MTSU graduate students recently produced and directed a movie headed to some film festivals this fall. Susan Noges and Miranda McGill combined their love for filmmaking with graduate studies in recording arts to create their first full-length film. The movie title is simply Daughter.
Kate Reynolds?
Who?
You know, that famous Hollywood reporter who got in that mysterious car accident.
Shot mostly in Murfreesboro, Daughter is a movie about discovering a lost past. Two MTSU graduate students in recording arts and technologies started thinking about the project in the fall of 2011.
So we decided that we wanted to make a movie that had strong female protagonists but wasn't focused on a love story.
Hey, wait. I'm so sorry to bother you, but my name is Hunter Doyle. I host a local television show. I would love a chance to have you on the show.
Oh, you're the one with the chupacabras.
Yeah, you've seen the show.
Our lead is Kate Reynolds, who is played by Amanda Dove, who's actually a friend of mine I've known forever, and she's actually a songwriter. And so we both sort of, when we were working on the script, before we even had the story done, we both kind of were thinking, what if we had Amanda play it? Because she's a songwriter and she's very good at performing on a stage, and because I know her pretty well, I was like, well, maybe she can do that. Maybe she can act as well as she can perform on a stage.
Convincing as she was in the lead role, unlike other characters who were local, Amanda Dove was in LA.
She flew out here and got here like the day before we started shooting. So the first time she had the opportunity to meet with any of the other actors was the table read the night before we started shooting.
The filmmakers looked for ready-made locations for shooting the movie, like the farmers market in downtown Murfreesboro and their own apartments for some scenes.
So make sure and tune in next week, because I'm going to get an exclusive interview with one Kate Reynolds, who has decided to mysteriously grace our town with her presence.
Daughter is a rather dark movie about murder and cover-up, yet comical in parts.
Your mysterious accident, the reason you're really in town, sightings of Bigfoot, Yetis, UFOs, three-legged ladies, whatever floats your boat.
The decision to use a quirky comedian actress in a supporting role grew out of another project of Miranda McGill.
Tashana McQuiston, who played Hunter, the supporting actress or second lead in the movie, was in that, and Susan saw some of the footage of her.
I mean, are you trying to escape some kind of mysterious past or recovering from a psychological breakdown?
And so we kind of decided, okay, we want to use both of these two actresses. Like, what story can we do that can cause these two women to interact?
Bora Bora or Timbuktu, Fu Manchu.
There was a huge risk that they were not going to work at all. Mm-hmm. And they did, but we totally risked that, and there was nothing we would have been able to do if it didn't work.
Yes, but...
The risk paid off. So did the filmmaker's background in audio and recording.
We were looking for elements, too, that could emphasize the sound design, because this is an MFA that has to do with recording arts and technologies, like audio recording art, technologies. So we wanted to have some moments that could really be driven by the sound.
Their low-budget movie prevented them from shooting an actual car crash.
There's no way we ever could have filmed with the budget that we had, but we were able to give the feeling of that with sound design.
Blood pressure is dropping.
It's a lot of filtery stuff, which is amazing that you can do now, and because you probably couldn't do as easily even a couple years ago. And like both of us have Pro Tools at home, so we could essentially do this whole thing without ever having to be in a big studio.
They borrowed music from close friends who were artists.
Luckily, we're in a recording arts and technologies program, so we had access to some pretty awesome music that way.
Like with the music, it was kind of like, what feels like it would work for this scene?
You showed up right here on my doorstep, and now I have to deal with that. Like mother, like daughter.
For the MTSU filmmakers, Daughter may be their first movie, but not the last.
So much planning goes into everything ahead of time, and then you still get to the back end and you're like, why didn't I know those things? Like, why didn't I take the time?
The biggest thing that I've learned is that I want to do it again. Like, it didn't totally scare me off. I didn't feel like it fell apart. I mean, there were some nights where I went nuts, but I want to do it again. And I'm still very new at it, and maybe I shouldn't even call myself a director, but I want to keep doing it. Like, does that make any sense?
You're totally a director.
Like
No, you're totally a director. He directed a whole movie.
Susan Noges graduated with a Master of Fine Arts degree from MTSU in May and headed back to her native LA to start her career in filmmaking. Miranda McGill is finishing up her studies at MTSU in the fall. They plan to enter Daughter in film festivals beginning this autumn. In July, MTSU hosted a delegation of 30 school children from Hangzhou, China. The 4-day visit, facilitated by MTSU's Confucius Institute, followed a similar trip by Rutherford County students to China last summer. The exchanges are aimed at developing cultural bridges between schools in China and Tennessee. During their visit to Tennessee, leaders from Dongchong Education Group of Hangzhou Normal University and the Murfreesboro and Rutherford County schools signed agreements to promote future educational and cultural exchanges. An MTSU biology professor spent time in Inner Mongolia, China, conducting research on the response of plants to climate change. Dr. Jeffrey Walk was awarded a visiting professorship for Senior International at the Institute of Botany of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Walk says the program is designed to enhance the science and technology innovation capacity of Chinese Academy of Sciences institutes by inviting accomplished researchers from overseas to participate in research. Walk, an MTSU faculty member since 1999, was featured in the 2012 MTSU Research Magazine. MTSU Center for Popular Music has been awarded 2 new grants to preserve some unique aspects of popular music. A grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities will allow the center to catalog and archive more than 9,000 pieces like this from early 18th century to 20th century fiddle, fife, and flute dance tunes, hymns, songs, ballads, and keyboard pieces. It will be digitized and added to a searchable website of the American Vernacular Music Manuscripts in partnership with the American Antiquarian Society in Worcester, Massachusetts. Another grant from the Grammy Foundation will preserve, inventory, and digitize more than 3,800 cassette and open reel tapes of music, oral histories, and field recordings of the late MTSU folklorist Dr. Charles Wolfe. Wolfe's work includes more than 4 decades of material that has been called the premier collection in the American Mid-South.
Whether you're interested in home recordings, in commercial, people who were had great commercial success, like Bill Monroe or Roy Acuff. In some cases, something like this. Here's a tape that comes from a fiddler, Bob Douglas, from down around Chattanooga, and we're just at the very beginning of this project, just about the getting through right now. We've worked on just over 200 tapes, so we've got a pretty good start.
For more information on the Center for Popular Music and its many projects, visit popmusic.mtsu.edu. MTSU's Aerospace Department and PSA Airways have signed a partnership agreement to provide a bridge from college to career. College of Basic and Applied Sciences Dean Bud Fisher signed the agreement last month. Seen in this photo, Paul Mosey, Chief Flight Instructor at MTSU's Flight Operations Center at Murfreesboro Airport, says the bridge program is designed to allow MTSU students the opportunity for increased employment options after graduation. PSA, headquartered in Dayton, Ohio, is a subsidiary of U.S. Airways. 2 MTSU Aerospace students competed this summer in the all-women air race classic, flying a Piper Cherokee 140D. Alexis Hutchison of Nashville and Allison Taylor, a 2013 graduate from Murfreesboro, flew against 46 other teams from Pasco, Washington to Fayetteville, Arkansas. The Air Race Classic is the longest-running transcontinental air race that features all-female pilots. The 2,450-mile competition includes stops in 8 states. Unfortunately, Hutchinson and Taylor experienced mechanical trouble with their family-owned plane and were forced to suspend competition in South Dakota about midway through their flights. However, they plan to compete again next year. MTSU alumnus Jacob Basham has received a $5,000 scholarship from the Honor Society of Pi Kappa Phi. The professional mathematics and general science graduate will use the funding to continue his education at the University of Tennessee's College of Medicine. The Portland, Tennessee native is one of only 57 students nationwide to receive a Pi Kappa Phi fellowship. An MTSU professor of economics and finance recently co-authored a new report that shows income inequality in America is more permanent than fluctuating. In other words, the rich stay richer and the poor stay poor. Dr. Jason DeBacker co-authored the study for the Brookings Institution. It shows income inequality between 1987 and 2009 increased more because of permanent factors like technology and globalization than transitory factors such as changing jobs or being laid off.
Yes, sir. It sounds like you're having computer issues. There's a couple things that we need to check. First, is your computer plugged in? Sir? Hello? Sir?
I am True Blue.
As a member
of this diverse community,
I am a valuable contributor
to its progress and success.
I am engaged in the life of this community.
I am a recipient
and a giver.
I am a listener
and a speaker.
I am honest in word and deed.
I am committed to reason, not violence.
I am a learner.
Now and forever.
I am a Blue Raider.
I am a Blue Raider.
I'm a Blue Raider.
True Blue.
Being True Blue is helping others to reach their potential. My name is Daryl Freeman, and I am True Blue.
At Middle Tennessee State University, we are devoted to student success. We offer the advantages of a major comprehensive university with the care and attention found at a small college. We are a community that believes in learning, growth, and service. We hold these values dear, and there's a simple phrase that conveys them.
I am True Blue.
I am True Blue.
I am True Blue.
Being True Blue is doing more than what's expected. My name is Ben Jones, and I am True Blue.
Science shapes our society. The products, technologies, and efforts of the sciences affect much of our everyday lives. And the more advances we make, the more the careers of tomorrow will rely on a strong education in the basic and applied sciences. At MTSU, you will learn from Tennessee's best faculty, along with hands-on training with the latest equipment and facilities. Come and learn the science of success.
For the 13th year, MTSU's Film Council showcased a wide range of student talent in the annual MTSU Student Film Festival. The festival is a week-long event held in April. The films are shown in the Student Union Video Theater. The student film entries are judged by the Film Council. As we did in 2012, Out of the Blue is showcasing one of the 2013 winners, Do It All Call by senior David Peralt and Dustin Ash Productions.
Do It All Call, we do what it takes. How may I direct you? One moment.
Thank you for calling Do It All Call. This is Joe. How may I help you? Uh-huh. Yes, sir. It sounds like you're having computer issues. There's a couple things that we need to check. First, is your computer plugged in? Sir? Hello? Sir?
Another hang up?
It was a disconnect.
See what I got here? Special delivery. Thank you for calling Do It All Call. This is Do It All Carl. How may I help you? I'm sorry about that. Did you try plugging it in? Uh-huh. Great, great. Well, remember, my name is Carl, and we do what it takes.
Hey guys, we got a lot of calls coming in. Hey, I wanted one of those. Anyway, I'll send them through.
Do It All Call, this is Do It All Carl. Ma'am, try not to blame yourself. Blame him.
Colorado and Washington, ma'am. Tennessee's not one of those. Yes, they do have the Smoky Mountains, but that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I've been to France. It was pretty nice, you know. No, I didn't even have to ask for ice. They just gave it to me. That tasted kind of strange.
Really, sir? Okay. Well, it is Do It All Call. Do you mind holding? You there? Tails. Sorry.
Now, you don't look fat at all in your Facebook picture. I'd take down the one on Tumblr, though.
It's not a stupid question, I promise. My preference? Peanut butter first, then jelly. Well, I know they come together, but there's just something about it.
Yeah. No, you got right, Trenton. No, this is the way I normally talk. Are you making fun of me? I have a speaking impediment.
Your grandma? Hang up the phone and call 911. Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Hey.
Hey.
I got a call just for you. You mind taking it?
Yeah, go ahead, patch him through.
Thanks.
Yeah. Do It All Call, this is Joe. How may I help you? You want to do what? You want to do it now. Okay. This is what you're going to need. You're going to need to fit in. You're going to need access. Do you know how to get there? Can you get inside? Do you know where it is? Good.
Carl, there's a roach in the break room. Can you help me?
I got it. All right, you're gonna need a distraction. Okay. That's good. So you got it? Great. Remember, my name is Joe, and we do what it takes. You have a good day.
Well, better be glad he was fast.
Can you rewind that real quick? You have a good day.
What they don't know can't hurt them.
The Student Film Festival awarded trophies to the top 3 films, along with an Audience Favorite Award. Second place went to Mark Bowman for In the Clearing. Third place went to Kelly Rozelle for his handiwork. For more information on the upcoming 14th Annual Festival and how to enter next year, contact the Film Council at films@mtsu.edu. We'll be right back.
There's a great Army out there awaiting your leadership. We are always in need of leaders of character who are willing to serve something greater than self.
We started in 1911 with a clear mission to train Tennessee's best teachers. For the last 100 years, Middle Tennessee State University has carried out that mission and so much more. Nationally recognized as an affordable quality university, the #1 choice of undergraduates in Tennessee. As we celebrate our centennial, we look with pride at the past. We look forward to the future. Check out why we're Tennessee's best.
Being True Blue is giving your all on and off the court. My name is Ebony Rowe, and I am True Blue.
My name is Andrew Willoughby. I am an aerospace major with a concentration in professional pilot. I did an honors thesis project on commercial pilot maneuvers and their importance. The most significant things that led me to continue in honors was the fact that I needed something to set me apart from everybody in the industry. I've talked to a few companies that come to our career fairs, and I know several companies said, "You've done a thesis, we really want to see that." And so they're already interested in my work as an honor student.
Being True Blue is helping students solve real-world problems. My name is Cliff Ricketts, and I am True Blue.
The world is changing every day, but the skills that matter will never change. The abilities to create, to think critically, to influence, and inspire. Alongside a premier faculty and award-winning peers, broaden your world at the College of Liberal Arts at Middle Tennessee State University.
"11 cadets in the MTSU Military Science ROTC program were commissioned as U.S. Army second lieutenants during a special commissioning ceremony this past spring. MTSU alumnus and U.S. Army Brigadier General Terry A. Etheridge served as guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, cadets, cadre, honored guests, families and friends of the Blue Raider Battalion, good morning, and again, welcome to MTSU and the spring commissioning ceremony. Today we are honored and privileged to have Brigadier General Terry A. Etheridge as our guest speaker. General Etheridge is currently the Director of the Joint Staff for the Tennessee National Guard. General Etheridge was commissioned as a field artillery officer from the ROTC program here at Middle Tennessee State University in 1978. He is truly a distinguished alumnus of this institution. Please join me in welcoming General Etheridge.
Good morning. There's two people that are really happy in this building today, and that's the parent and the cadets. I'm most honored to be here to help with the commissioning of these young officers who are beginning their service to our nation. This class, 36% of the class are distinguished military graduates, nearly twice the national average. This is truly a remarkable group of cadets. Congratulations on all that you've achieved in arriving here today, and dedicate yourself and individually and collectively to a lifetime of service. There's a great Army out there awaiting your leadership. We are always in need of leaders of character who are willing to serve something greater than self.
Oh, times. Oh. Group. Oh. Left. Face.
Lieutenant Colonel Miller will now administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jared Blanchett.
I, Anita Booker.
I, Dalton Balmazotti.
I, Joshua Dempsey.
I, Juan Figueroa.
I, Michael Graham. I, Chase Teddy Morris.
I, Cole Powers.
I, Elliot Ralston. I, Christopher Smith.
I, Sadie Sweeney.
Having been appointed an officer
Having been appointed an officer
in the Army of the United States,
in the Army of the United States,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Second Lieutenant Booker will now be pinned by her parents Gwen and Derek Stevens. She receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Military Police Branch. Second Lieutenant Bowersox will now be pinned by his fiancée Chelsea Cox, his father Robert Bowersox, and his mother Dawn Bowersox. Second Lieutenant Dempsey will now be pinned by his mother Teresa Dempsey and his grandfather Robert Dempsey. He receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Aviation Branch. Second Lieutenant Figueroa will now be pinned by his mother Vicky Figueroa and his father Juan Figueroa. He receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Transportation Branch. Second Lieutenant Graham will now be pinned by his father Mike Graham and his brother Matthew Graham. He receives an active duty commission in the Military Police Branch. Second Lieutenant Morris will now be pinned by his parents James and Cynthia Morris. He receives an active duty commission in the Medical Services Branch. Second Lieutenant Powers will now be pinned by his wife Danielle Powers. He receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Aviation Branch. Second Lieutenant Ralston will now be pinned by Emily Ciano and Jonathan Clifton. He receives an active duty commission in the Ordnance Branch. Second Lieutenant Smith will now be pinned by his wife Emily Smith. He receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Adjutant General Branch. Second Lieutenant Swaney will now be pinned by her parents Dottie and Bart Brindle. She receives the Reserve Forces Duty Commission in the Military Police Branch.
Oh, time. Oh. Group. Oh. Left. Face.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the U.S. Army's newest and most awesome lieutenants.
One final note for you, this is the inaugural season for the Blue Raiders as members of Conference USA. MTSU officially became a member of Conference USA on July 1st. The Blue Raiders football team will open the season against Western Carolina at home on August 29th. Competition against the first Conference USA opponent is September 21st, when the Blue Raiders travel to Florida Atlantic. The first Conference USA football game at home will be October 5th against East Carolina. For a complete schedule, go to goblueraiders.com. For more information on MTSU, be sure to go to mtsunews.com. That's it for this edition of Out of the Blue. Until next time, stay true blue.